Welcome to Ciao Bella, hosted by me, Erica Firpo, a travel journalist based in Rome. Each episode of Ciao Bella, I sit down with Italy's creators, contemporary artists and artisans, designers, culinary experts, heritage brands, and innovative aesthetes, and more who are defining and redefining 21st century Italy. Pull up a chair and join in. Hey guys, join me at the Palazzo Ducale in Modena to meet Livia Cevolini, the founder and CEO of Energica Motor Company, high-performing electric motorcycles that are revolutionizing the streets and the tracks. Okay, well, first of all, for all the women out there, I'm just saying thank you.
Thank you.
It's really nice to see, and I know that it's been kind of funny because I've been calling my husband saying, I'm the only woman, I'm a journalist, and and I know for you, you're saying, being the only woman is even, there's less, so.
I'm not sure. Did you see today how many women were on I don't know if you were in the room upstairs?
No, I wasn't
today.
in there.
Okay, there were very few.
Very. And I know that you said that I was just reading some interviews of yours, and I know that you were saying this was maybe a few years back that there was about 30% women in your factory or on your team.
Yeah. Even now I don't remember exactly. We are continuously hiring new people, so I don't remember now. But yes, we are not enough, because the biggest problem we have is that women just here in Italy are not coming to the interviews. So in particular for technical profiles, it's very difficult to find women anyway. So even if you want to hire women, it's difficult to find. Because it's not only, it's never fault only of one or the other. It's always in the middle. And women sometimes prefer to do some other studies instead of scientific studies. And here in Italy, there's this problem, and I think is a little.
Well, you know what bigger. I mean. In general, I think as you know, I love it when people explain stuff to me. They assume I can't get it, or they have to explain it easier. I don't know. No. So what? So did you go to a liceo scientifico? Is that what you did?
Yeah, I made the liceo scientifico. I don't know, high school, scientific high school.
Like a STEM. We would probably call it STEM in the U.S.
Yeah. Okay. Great. Yeah, and then I made engineering. Mechanical engineering, and then it's a kind of economical engineering, is in the middle between mechanical and economics engineering. Yeah.
So I have a question. I have a 12-year-old daughter who sees things like this, and I mean, she loves motorcycles, and she loves Tony Stark, and that's her dream. She tells me, I want to be like Tony Stark, and part of me is like, my heart's, except for one thing. She's like, I hate math. And I'm like, oh my God, I love.
You know what? It's the same problem. Sometimes they were asking me to speak to women and to young women, to girls, to convince them to make STEM. And the problem is that they think that STEM is not creative, it's not artistic, is not interesting, is flat. And yes, it can be true if you don't understand how to use them. So if you understand that you can use STEM, so scientific anything, and to put this into artistic everything, it is actually perfect, because you combine the best of both. Mm-hmm. So it's possible. It's what I'm trying to do here, because I was. When I was young, I didn't want to study this kind of stuff, and I wanted to do paintings and this kind of stuff. So I was completely on the other side. But then I discovered that it was good that I chose to do engineering, because it allowed me to really do what I like. Because only painting, we are not in the 19th century. Okay, so here. The world is different. So if you just paint, you don't live, okay? You don't survive. In this case, you can do both, because you really can still do something that has something to do with the artistic subjects, but you still need some scientific stuff to really, in Italian we say, to put horses running, okay? It's the same. You really need math and scientific stuff today if you really want to do anything else. So it's in the middle. It's a hybrid.
So let's talk about what you do. So you launched. So I know that you were working with Ferrari and with cars, and then in 2014 you launched Energica, which is motorcycles.
Yeah.
And have they always been e-motorcycles or electric?
No, actually, in 2010 we raced with a petrol motorcycle in MotoGP in the 250cc class. And we were already working a little with motorcycles. Our family companies have been working with motorsports since 50 years ago.
So it's really in the family.
Yeah, absolutely. It was my grandfather, and then my father, and then me and Franco. And so we were actually working in the motorsport, in particular Formula One and so on. And we were starting to work also with the motorcycles. So we worked a little with Aprilia and Honda and so on. And in 2009-10, we decided also to do our own motorcycle, and it was a petrol motorcycle. And the year after it was, it was 2005. Sorry. And 2006 we decided to quit the project because it was that there was a problem with one of our partners. And then 2 years after, in 2009, they proposed us to make an electric motorcycle, racing motorcycle.
Wow.
And at the beginning it was like, it's 50 years that we're doing Formula One, so it's a kind of bullshit. We don't like so much the electric. But then we said each other, me and my father, we said, well, why not? Let's listen to them at least, and let's decide later if it's worth or not. And we decided that it was worth. And so actually we started to work on electric motorcycles for racing, and then it was good because we raced and we won, and then we decided to move all the technology to the road, and so to start the road motorcycle project. So, but at the beginning, it was all the only goal was to use our technology and know how to do something that it was always new, never seen before. So that was the goal.
So tell me a little bit about your motorcycles. Can you, and this might be, not the most brilliant question, but are there different kinds of motorcycles? How many different kinds are there?
Yeah, we have 3 models.
Okay.
They are covering the top of the line. So we have this one that is a sport bike, and it's the Ego, and it's the first one because we were coming from racing. So the first model was of course a sport one. Yeah. And then we started with we engineered the EVA SS9. That is a classic one. Typical, let's say the most famous could be the 90 from BMW, so a classic shape. And then we also developed the Street Fighter, that is Eva Ribelle, and now it's the most sold. 50% of the invoicing is made with the
Street
Eva
Fighter?
Ribelle. Yes, the Street Fighter.
So how can you give me the specs on that? How big is it? Or
well, it's very similar because there is one unique platform for the 3 models. This was to have a good economy of scale and a better efficiency of the warehouse, and so it's very similar, but it's a Street Fighter, so it's higher and then you stay a little more comfortable, and it's easier to ride. It's more comfortable for everyday riding.
Now, last thing I wanted to, I have two things I want to ask you. One question, and I was reading a bunch of different things, and I don't know if I'm mixing things up in my head, but do you have, did I read correctly that you have a punto di vendita in California?
Yeah, we are actually we launched Energica SRL, so the Italian company, in 2016, and a few months later we immediately founded Energica Inc.
Okay.
So the American one, and we immediately were focused on USA, and it's clear why, because that was the biggest market thanks to Tesla and so on. So one of the first dealers that we opened was in San Francisco, was in US.
Oh wow!
So the first year it was 2016. 16, and we had 6 dealers in Europe and 1 in USA. And we always were very focused on USA, always.
Can I ask how many dealers you have now in the USA?
I think we are around 30 or a little less. Yes, we are increasing every day. So actually, I don't remember exactly the number. I know that worldwide now we have 88, if I remember well, until yesterday, and 40% of our invoicing is done in US.
Oh wow!
With something around 30 dealers. That is the half moon.
Do you have anything to say for women who want to get involved in motorcycles?
If they like it, they have to try. Of course, it is still a male world, so you need to be prepared to have stupid expressions when you're talking, like this is completely stupid, and they are not listening to you at the beginning. But if you study and if you actually have the right competencies, at the beginning they don't understand, but then they listen to you and then they recognize it to you. So you have to be just, how can I say in English? Tenace.
Tenacious.
Yeah, very, very, very...
Very much.
Very tenacious. So you just need to know that this is the point, this is the beginning.
Okay.
And I would be cheating you if I would say different. This is the beginning. The beginning is difficult, but then things...
Be tenacious.
Yes, absolutely, yeah.
Now I have one last question, which is about Emilia-Romagna, which is... I've been asking everybody this because I think probably everybody gets this question, but why do you think it is that Emilia-Romagna is producing these incredible vehicles and motorcycles?
And not only, we have Aceto Balsamico, we have the food, we had Pavarotti. I'm always joking that it's the food that actually is
nourishing the brain.
Yes, exactly. I don't know. I think that we have good examples. So when you grow up here, you know that you have Ferrari, you have these examples, and you don't want to be so different from them. You really need to do quite similar to them, and so you are pushing continuously yourself to go that direction and to reach that goals. So you are never satisfied enough because you know that there were so many people doing excellence here. So this is a continuous push that you have. It's not very how can I say, it's very tiring maybe, but on the other side it's also very exciting because you know that you can, because they did it in the past, so you can do as well with big sacrifices, but you can do it, so because they did it already. So it's just the examples, in my opinion.
Okay, that's great. Where did you grow up, out of curiosity?
Here.
In Modena? Proprio Modena?
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
Well, Forza Donna, I'm so happy. I'm going to have my daughter, she might write you a letter, but I'm going to have her look at everything because it's like I said from the very beginning, when I saw that it was I saw your name and I saw it was a woman, Livia Cevolini, and I was like, but is it her company? And then I saw the whole story, I was like, yes!
Yes, usually when I was because I started to travel with my father in the paddock of Formula One, and I was very young. I was very young, like a baby, and then I grew up and I was a girl, and I was not not beautiful, but not so bad. And they were always approaching me like saying, "Oh, are you a model or are you the umbrella?"
Yeah.
And I was saying like, "No, I'm an engineer." Okay, and they were going away. It was so funny, but yeah, that's
well. Now you can.
Okay.
Next time you should see them and say, "Are you the umbrella girl?"
exactly. And now there are also umbrella men. You know?
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh,
sometimes
good.
When there are female riders, they have the umbrella man.
Good for them.
It's good. Yeah.
Good. Then finally, right?
Yeah, exactly. So no, it's changing, but we have to be clear with the women that want to do this way. It's still a little difficult in the beginning, but it's changing. It's going better.
Well, thank you so much for your time and beautiful bikes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Want to try and catch up to Energica? Visit websites energicamotor.com
EnergicaMotor.com, and Energica Motor USA. You can also follow them on Instagram at Energica Motor Company. Again, Energica Motor Company. Thanks for listening to this week's episode of Ciao Bella. If you'd like to know more about today's guest, please visit ciaobella.co and click on the podcast link, or go directly to ciaobella.co/podcast. Want more Italy? You can find all my episodes on iTunes and Spotify and Stitcher. When you have time, subscribe to iTunes and rate the podcast. What are you waiting for? And if you want to be part of the podcast, email me or DM me your Italy questions. To learn more about me and my work, go to my website, ericafirpo.com, and follow my Italy adventures on Instagram at ericafirpo. Ciao, Bella! And a very big thank you and hug to Massimiliano Yonta and Disc to Disc Studios, the producers of Ciao Bella, who continue to make me sound and feel great.